Welcome to episode number 8 of Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
I am the Iron Fist, defender of Kunlun, sworn enemy of the Hand, and I have come back to reclaim my rightful place that was stolen.
You know, if I heard that in like a dark alley, I wouldn't even be scared, dude. I would just be like, hey man, you need like a Kit Kat or maybe a Snickers.
You just sound like kind of tired.
Yeah, you just seem tired and need a hug, dude.
Do you need an old chicken parmesan sandwich?
Also, like that whole dialogue, like I feel like maybe I'll just punch you in the face before you even.
I know, like the pauses. Whoa. I'm doing these weird poses while talking about it. Like, hey everybody, it's Matt. I'm back.
Matt is back. He was training in Kunlun for a week, and he decided that was not good for him.
It was assumed I was dead, and I was replaced, and people went on without me. And then, I mean, I'm just in watching Netflix Iron Fist this last week. I just saw a lot of parallels to my own life, just in
rich,
just rich in friendship, but then being bankrupt and having someone else come and take my place. Just.
But much like Netflix's Iron Fist, Matt wears a costume every day.
Yeah.
All the time. Instead of
Did you say much like it?
I go much. Oh yeah.
Because it is not the opposite of that.
In fact, but just like Netflix's Iron Fist, Matt puts a lot of green and yellow into his life. He's drinking Sprite. He's wearing green corduroy shorts. That's about it. He just drinks a lot of Sprite. He's like, man, I love lemon and lime. He hangs out downtown between Lemon and Lime Street. He's like, hey, that's a thing. That's a thing. So yeah, we've actually been watching Iron Fist. We haven't both finished, meaning I haven't finished. Matt has. So we'll probably talk about that next week.
I made up some good ground yesterday, and so I finished this morning.
Yeah, it is. I will say it's hard for me to want to keep watching. It's not like leaving me like, ooh, I can't wait to watch the next one. But
I'm curious once you get into this next episode or two if that'll help you want to push through the last one, because I felt like it helped for me.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's just to touch a little bit. It's not as terrible as some people have said. Like there was a lot of things out on Twitter last week like, oh, it's terrible. It's like it's not that terrible, but there are definitely some weak spots, and we will talk about them. But as of now, it's a show. It's Iron Fist. It's
a show.
Is it worse than season 2 of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Nope. So, and that's still going. So, I mean, there's stuff to talk about. So we'll get that. We'll get that.
But not as good as Jackie Chan, because everybody's making that comparison too.
What? I never even heard that. Are you serious?
Which I'm like, what? Why? I would never want to be compared to Jackie Chan ever, because that guy is amazing.
Yeah. That's for two reasons. Like, A, Jackie Chan is amazing, and no one was holding Iron Fist to that standard. You know?
Yeah.
And then,
like, no one's holding Daredevil to Spider-Man or Jessica Jones to Wonder Woman. Like, it's like,
I wish they would have hired the fight coordinator from Daredevil. Just like, hey, you know how you were really good? You want another job?
Something, dude. Something.
Maybe he was working on Defenders. Who knows? Who knows what was going on?
Yeah, we won't get into it right now. But but what we'll get into is
our ratings.
Our ratings that we use around here when we talk about things, which will come into play next week when we talk about Iron Fist.
And some things today.
We'll
rate some stuff today.
We're not going to wait till next week to rate things.
We don't wait to rate.
Don't wait to rate.
Don't wait to rate. All right.
So what that is, if you're new to the show, we have our lowest rating we give is a don't go. So that's bad. It means we really don't like it. Above that is a go. Above that, even better, is a let's go. And the best rating we give around here is a gotta go. And that means stop what you're doing and go. But that makes no sense when you word it that way.
Yes. So anyways, all right. So let's jump into some news coming up.
Yeah.
Something I thought that was cool is if you're reading the DC's Young Animal books, they're going to participate in Record Store Day, which is coming up very soon. And they're going to do a picture disc with Cave Carson. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so April 22nd, which is in about a month from now, is Record Store Day. And so they're doing a little tie-in. So they're doing an album, just like a 2-track song, I believe. And it's going to be Gerard Way and some of his pals who are musicians. I believe Frank Yarrow, who was in My Chemical Romance, is producing it. And,
cool.
Yeah, and so he's getting the cover done by Michael Allred and stuff. So that's really cool. It's just a good, it's kind of a cool little team up that they're doing there and putting something out. And it's neat to do a nice little crossover there. Who knows?
Nice.
Record store day is going to be a small niche anymore, almost smaller than a comic book store now. Because like no one's really going to a record store, so
they should do free record store
free
day.
Record day. So check it out. That's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to see if I can actually get a hold of one of those deals. So
sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
It just looks like a cool little piece of pop culture. Check it out. So, and Michael Albright is cool. He actually is a musician too. I don't know if you knew.
I had heard that. Yeah. I mean, in interviews, he's talked about like part of when he was like reading comic books was when he was a kid was like waiting for guitar lessons and stuff like that. Like I feel like he said that in an interview or two. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna go. So there's gonna be 2 songs on it. It's gonna be "Into the Cave We Wander" and in "Pogie's Cavern." So it's a 12-inch picture disc in clear vinyl sleeve, limited to 5,000. So maybe I won't get one. I don't know. So
dude, never say never.
I want one. I want to get one. So 5,000. 5,000 now is probably actually I need to correct myself. It's not Frank from his band. It is from Ray Toro and produced by Doug McKeon and Gerard Way. So
thank you for the accuracy.
What I said. Yeah, I don't want to. I think in my mind's eye, I saw something else.
Here, dude.
Yeah, just the facts here on Let's Go Comic Show, because I want you guys to give us a gotta go on iTunes. So, moving on. So, did you hear any of the crazy stuff Anthony Mackie's been saying this week?
I saw a Twitter title. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like here and there, but I didn't get in to read the full details of the interview.
Yeah, there's 2 things he was saying. He was talking about how there's never going to be any type of crossover with the Marvel, movies and the Marvel TV shows. And
I'm glad that he's the person making that decision.
Yeah. So, and it was done at some like Comic-Con and whatever. And like, not to say he wouldn't know, like he wouldn't be privy to any of this information. I'm sure like when everybody's talking, they're like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Especially like once they really did a hard split when the films just became a Disney thing and they didn't have to report to Ike Perlmutter, whatever.
Perlmutter?
The old guy named Mike.
The pearls?
yeah, that guy. Once he was able to break off from them, there was kind of a hard break from the TV shows and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they don't exist in the same world. Even in Iron Fist just came out, they referenced, the event.
Yeah.
And so
in different ways, they actually reference each of the other Defenders over the course of the episodes.
Well, they can reference the shows, but I'm saying referencing the films.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. And so they reference the Avengers even in this episode. So I think it kind of goes up. It just doesn't go down is kind of the way I see it working right now. But who knows, dude, when Avengers 3 comes out,
it'd be a
never
shame,
know those guys show up.
because there's some of those characters, especially from the Netflix shows, it'd be really great to see them interacting.
It would be amazing if like freaking Thanos takes like all these fools out and like, oh man, Captain America's dead, and like there's no one to protect the city, and all of a sudden it's like the Defenders are here. Yeah. So that would be cool, and maybe they're just trying to like not show their whole hand right now. So yeah, and just be, because they lie out. These people lie all the time. Yeah, dude, I'm not in this movie, and then like, oh, he's in this movie. But
it's really funny when like an actor says like, "Oh yeah, that's never going to happen."
Yeah,
we're like, I don't think you're in charge of that, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's not under your sphere of influence.
So, but for a second there, I was like, man, maybe Anthony Mackie knows. Maybe he's making sense. And then he goes and follows it up with this. So while at Wizard World in Cleveland last week, he was asked any other franchises he wants to be involved with, and he said that he wanted to play Blade. That he pretty much wanted to grow up to be Wesley Snipes. So if they can bring back Blade, he wants to be Blade in every Blade movie, which would not make sense if he is currently playing the Falcon. So
unless
either the Falcon
becomes a vampire.
Oh, Falcon becomes a Blade. He's like, Blade Falcon. Falcon Blade kind of sounds heavy metal though. Falcon Blade.
Yeah, Falcon. Is that like a Rob Liefeld character? Or?
Yeah, he was in Youngblood. he was a new Youngblood member, Falcon Blade.
Go. Falcon Blade.
He had blades on his shoulders and like falcon beaks on his knees or something. Yeah. So that just sounded weird. Like, I think, if he wasn't the Falcon, he would be a great Blade. But I like him as the Falcon. Because here's the thing. The Falcon needs a likable actor to portray him. Mm-hmm. And so, anyways, Anthony Mackie has lost all credibility with me. Yeah. That's all.
But he was
cut
great.
The check. That's all I like.
He was great in... oh, man.
He made quite an impact on you.
I know. Well, I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. The Christmas one.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking with Seth Rogen. What was it called? Yep.
Night before.
Night before. There you go. So yeah,
It ended up being a lot better than I thought it was.
He's funny. I like Anthony Mackie, but just don't talk about stuff because people. Here's the thing: fans are all mad at him now. Like he said this. It's like he just said something. He doesn't know. He's just talking, dude.
You can't blame a guy for wanting to grow up to be Wesley Snipes,
right?
You see Demolition Man? I mean, you just
you're all hey.
That's right.
One day I can bleach my hair out. Like, dude, Cisco took that and he made it happen for himself. Don't try to claim that.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah. See, do the thong song. All right.
Hey.
You got anything, buddy? You got anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Looking ahead, DC announced 2 one-shots called Dark Days, leading into some sort of Batman-centric event this summer.
Batman needs to be a part of more events.
You think?
Yeah.
I remember reading this thinking like, oh man, I would love to hear what Justin thinks. Because here's what's interesting. Like, you look at the art, which is Jim Lee.
Yeah.
That they released, and it looks like a grim, like Matrix, Terminator, future, like dark thing. I mean, I guess which makes sense if you're going to call it Dark Days.
Yeah.
And so
it doesn't look like a terrible thing. It's just the one thing I don't like in it. 2 things. Like, here's the thing. I get Batman's always the bread and butter, but the statue in the middle, it looks like Ocean Master meets Batman.
Yeah,
and
it looks like future evil Batman or something like that.
And then it's Jim Lee when Batman's got a pouch on his leg. If Batman doesn't use that
leg pouches,
if he doesn't use that leg pouch, dude,
I'm sure he uses that a lot.
Like, wouldn't it be more accessible just to maybe put like the pouches on his arms, maybe on his gloves? Like, now you got to reach all the way down to your leg.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how long his arms are.
So anytime have you ever wore cargo pants?
It's never.
Do you ever
a
put anything in
spot.
those pockets?
I used to, but
did you ever put anything in there?
Yeah, no, I totally did. But then I was like annoyed every time I had to reach for it.
Then you put like a candy bar in there, and then you forget, and you wash your clothes, and you're like, why is there chocolate everywhere?
Yeah, dude.
That's what Batman.
I'm sure that's what Batman's
Batman
done.
puts chocolate bars. It's for Robin, dude. Robin needs a little break.
So the thing I thought was interesting about this, the 2 one-shots are called The Forge and The Casting.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
James Tynion.
Yeah.
If that's how you pronounce the last name.
Yeah.
Are writing that. But I think it's interesting that they're really trying to elevate the artists and make them an equal kind of billing on this. And Scott Snyder's, maybe you can speak to this too, because I didn't read all of Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman run.
Yeah.
But his quote, he says, art like this demands an epic story. Dark Days posits a mystery that traces all the way back to when I started on Batman. I've hinted at them over the years with Easter eggs and clues. This is a mystery that literally begins at the dawn of man and spans generations of heroes and villains and ultimately leads to huge revelations about the past, present, and future of the cosmology of DC.
Huh. Okay.
It sounds kind of big. I mean, like, hey.
And Batman's at the center. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's not like I'm not excited, but I think right now I'm more looking forward to the Flash Batman team up thing for.
That's true. First things first.
Yeah.
The button.
The button. I'm calling it the button. I am button. That's what they should be calling it. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I am button, and not this yet because.
Well, we don't know what event it's leading into.
Yeah.
We know that's the 2 one-shots, and what's interesting is he's also quoted as saying, "I don't want it to be grim."
Yeah.
Even though it's called Dark Days.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be superheroes arguing over something. Superheroes won't be fighting superheroes. I want it to be celebratory and huge and crazy. I'm going for out of control dinosaurs and lasers. It should be fun.
See, I like dinosaurs and lasers.
That sounds like good.
And I don't not want Batman to be a part. I'm just like, man, Batman hasn't been a part of that's like Brave and the Bold style stuff, like the cartoon.
That's true. Batman's constantly in the middle of like everything.
Yeah. So I'm just going to be cautiously excited. And I'll wait. I mean, the art looks great. Minus, I joke about like leg pouches and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks rad. It looks like a great piece.
Yeah, but it's like a giant statue in a building that's like on fire and all torn down. You have a bunch of bodies tied to the bottom of the statue.
Yeah, something's going on, man. Are those all the dead Robins or something? Or are they superheroes? Like, you can't even tell what's going on.
Yeah, it just looks like a bunch of people tied there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll just say my rating for this right now, it's a go.
All right.
If I had to give it a pre-rating, I'll check it out. I just haven't been excited about an event in a long time. Like, there hasn't been an event where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for that. Except for
I feel
the button. I am Button.
The Button.
No.
So you guys, last week while I was gone, talked about the Thor images released a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would just throw my 2 cents out there since I wasn't able to.
Yeah, man. I wanted to save some for you.
It's like, it reminds me of like Braveheart, Gladiator, Thor.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like with the paint on his face and stuff. What the interesting thing is, I think with all of the images they released is the amount of color.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's all these neon things that kind of reminds me of kind of more what Guardians of the Galaxy
Definitely, yeah.
uses.
I would say that's 100%. Like, I think that's intentional. Like once you get into the universe, because I think they had a little bit of that in. I was going to say in Guardians of the Galaxy.
They totally did. Since that's what we were saying.
But even in like once they're on the Rainbow Road and stuff, I think there's a little more color brought in there. But this
seems
way
like
more like
chunks of color though.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, there's color present, but like no, like there's a bunch of like just really vibrant colors going on.
Yeah,
which was interesting. Did
vibrant's a good
you
idea.
hear or read that they drew supposedly some inspiration from Big Trouble in Little China with how they wanted it to feel?
Oh, really? I think I read that. I don't know where I read it from, but that sounds like a familiar thing. Yeah.
Like seeing what we've seen so far. And I will say I like the idea as a movie in general. Like it just looks like it's going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be kind of like big adventure. As a Thor movie, I think it just perpetuates and goes down a path that I'm bummed that they went down from the get-go with Thor and explaining him away as a more cosmic thing instead of like sticking to like magic or like mythological stuff. I think he basically seems like an alien now, which I think kind of takes it away a little bit from what makes Thor special. Yeah. So I think there's this kind of like foggy, kind of unclear area that he
like, is he a
lands
god
in.
or
like,
is
he a god? Is he not? And them going like, oh yeah, well it's basically science, and he actually is in space somewhere. Like, okay, well that kind of takes some of
that realm is in space. Yeah,
it takes the mystique out of it a little bit for me. But as a movie in and of itself, like self-contained, I'm always up for seeing Jeff Goldblum and more eyeshadow and lipstick and stuff. So,
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, going back to him being an alien. What movie was it referenced in where they were like basically like his people
they
visited?
Mentioned it in the first one.
Okay, visited.
But then I feel like they really
Vikings
solidified that in the second one. Because he just straight up ended up at, remember that scene at the after credit scene? He was at the Collectors.
Oh, that's right.
Like the Warriors 3 like just showed up, and I was like, well, now, it made it feel like He-Man in the Masters of the Universe from the 80s, the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Which is like it's more sci-fi than fantasy, and I wish they just had something where they would be okay with it being more fantasy.
I hear you.
So, but I'm curious about the movie. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm actually really pumped for it. I think just because I haven't seen anything yet. Like in my head, I have like an idea. Like, man, how's this trailer going to be? Is it going to be more buddy cop, or is it going to be more me against you? Like the Thor Hulk dynamic is really fun. So yeah, I'm excited. I just want to see Hulk punching walls and aliens, and I just want to see all that. I'm physically punching right now. I'm punching air.
You are, dude.
I was like punching air.
Leaning in to like headbutt the microphone right now.
I am. So sorry if my voice is off. So I bet you they do a scene where like, do you think Thor will have his hair cut? This is one of those hot questions. Will Thor have a haircut in the movie? People want to know.
Well, yeah. I mean, all these images are from the movie, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, will they cut his hair? I meant not will he have a haircut? But will there be a scene where like they prep him for battle or something like that?
I think totally, because they've already released some behind the scenes images of him on set with his like long hair.
Oh, okay.
And so I think now that we've seen both, it would make sense to where like, okay, we're forcing you to fight in this gladiator event, and so we're going to cut your hair off.
Okay, that makes sense then.
I mean, whether it's his idea or not his idea, I don't think it really matters, honestly.
Yeah.
It's kind of whatever. I think it's one of those things like...
He's like weaker without his hair. He's like Samson.
He's just less iconic, honestly, man. It's like not having the helmet, all of these movies too. Like,
I'm going to do a whole episode on the helmet, man. Thor needs that helmet.
It makes me so sad. Like the most iconic thing about him, besides the hammer...
That is like Batman without a cape, dude. Like Batman needs a cape, Thor needs a helmet. There we go.
Yeah.
Like Loki wears a helmet more than Thor wears a helmet.
Yep.
So.
I know. I have strong feelings on that.
It's movie star stuff.
Well, I mean, keeping in track with movie stuff, a lot of things released just
Dude,
today.
Today is a hot mess of Justice League, like, information coming out, dude. It's been pretty awesome.
So Justice League is coming out when? When's it slated to
Coming
release?
out in November, man.
And what have we seen today so far?
They put out a little teaser of they put out posters of the whole team, just kind of like a big like banner image, similar to the one they put out at Comic-Con. It's a little different. I think Batman looks really goofy in that picture.
I think Flash looks better in it, though.
Flash looks better, yeah.
Before. I feel like they added more like gold.
Took Superman out.
Accents into
Superman is not in the poster, and then they put a character poster out of Aquaman and of Batman today, and like a 20-second clip of them doing the stuff, like assembling the league. So I think leading up to Saturday is when the trailer's coming out. So they've said Saturday trailer's coming out.
Indeed.
So that'll be cool. They're still using the white stripes in the background. That's a thing still.
Yeah.
So yeah,
which is it's fine by me. But
yeah,
it is.
I don't care too much.
It is an interesting thing. I think the biggest thing I noticed from the little clip they did from Aquaman was one, he's like fully armored up, no shirtless Jason Momoa in that, and it's I noticed Batman tossing him his trident, too, which I thought was interesting. Like
maybe he's like,
is he just hey, go. Remember this? Like you dropped this, or is that like I made this for you? Like,
or maybe it was like reclaim who you are or something like that. I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, think? I don't know.
Like.
It was more
cool
like, I'm curious
Batman,
what that is.
Batman's like, dude, get
the
your
main thing
together,
is,
man.
I think the armor looks really clunky and bulky, and I don't think it looks that good.
Really?
That's my opinion.
What?
I think it's cool they worked in the scales and stuff and that look from the classic Aquaman look. Mm-hmm. But, dude, I'm just not...
You don't like how that looks?
It seems like really big and bulky. It just doesn't... It looks like he would sink like a rock in the water.
No way, dude. He's a swimmer, though, dude. He's the king of the seven seas, dude.
Swimmer.
Dude, that scene where he like puts the trident down into the ground.
Yeah, and the water goes out around him and stuff like that.
Dude, that is the most heavy metal looking thing ever. It's awesome. Love it. Love it. So I'm excited to see the other few. I was actually going to hold off. I'm like, I'm going to hold off and wait. But they just started. I actually saw it on accident while I was looking through the stream. I was like, oh, this is probably not what. Because someone like bootlegged it out earlier in the day. Like there was.
Really?
It was like on someone's phone. Yeah, I was like, I ain't watching that. And then I was just looking at their Twitter feed because they put a poster out, which something I don't like about the poster, but we can talk about it. It's just like the JL logo kind of at a slant, right?
Yep.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
And as I was looking at it, I was like, oh.
And it just says Unite.
Yeah, and it looks
it.
cool, but I don't like the metal casing of it. There's like this metal like inlay going all the way around the logo, and then there's like stone, like it's encased in it's encased in like this metal grating.
Yeah,
I don't like
is
that.
what that all looks like. I don't know. I don't think the Justice League needs a logo. I think that's the main thing. I feel like all of them have iconic logos.
Yeah,
I don't feel like the Justice League needs branding.
Yeah, well, here's
especially if this is the thing where they just like come together and stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't think they're going to be wearing arm patches and stuff like that, but. What I was going to say is, more that I think about it, it feels like they're elements from each character. Like is that Cyborg's laser eye shooting in the middle out of the star? Is that the metal grating from Flash's costume? It looks kind of similar to the metal that goes behind his lightning bolt. I don't know what the stone is. Is the stone Batman's Batcave? I don't know. There's just different things there. So
that's really going deep into that.
I was going deep into it because I didn't like it. I was like, there has to be a reason why they did that. So the Batman footage, dude. The Batman footage is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't like the Batman poster they put out.
Sitting perched on a gargoyle. You can't go wrong with that.
Dude, and look at that freaking Judas Priest looking gargoyle, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the Grim Reaper style. So yeah, everything's just awesome with that, dude. I'm so pumped. Like,
yeah.
Hopefully
I'm hopeful.
Hopefully optimistic. Like there's a little bit of Commissioner Gordon in there, Batman just being like, oh Batman. And then a whole bunch of Batman gun shooting.
Just the sickest backflips.
Dude, right? Oh man, it's awesome. I'm excited. So I'm gonna hopefully tone that down a little bit, but
yeah, you are.
It's gonna be so good. I just don't like that poster of Ben Affleck with his silver-looking bat symbol. It doesn't look right to me.
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
But Ben Affleck tweeted out too, so that was nice.
Well, there you go.
So is he still on board? Or he's just like, fine, I'll put this out.
In this movie, so it's not like he's going to tell people not to see it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's interesting that Jason Momoa didn't tweet out his photo.
Man, Justin is all about trying to find the hidden motivations behind people's tweets or lack thereof today.
Right, man? You never know. Jason Momoa's leaving, dude. He didn't
That's it.
He didn't tweet
Aquaman's not happening anymore.
Or he's filming Aquaman right now. He's like, man, I ain't got time for this. So I'm underwater. He's all, I'm underwater. So yeah, I'm excited. So next 2 days will be good. And next time we record, we'll actually talk about the trailer.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this trailer. We'll be like, man, how'd you like that trailer, Matt? He's
And we'll
Matt will be like,
that.
he's underwhelmed. He was whelmed. Meh.
All right.
I'm pumped.
So I know you mentioned it briefly yesterday. I got to watch this week's episode of The Flash on CW, which got a lot of marketing because it was a crossover episode with Supergirl, and it was also a musical, which is Justin's favorite.
Oh gosh, I hate musicals.
So I'll say this. I think there are two main things about that episode that I thought. The acting was super hammy and cheesy and not very good. Everyone all of a sudden had a super obnoxious, old-timey New York accent.
Yeah, well, I think that's
everybody.
That's what they put them. I mean,
which was funny. Like, it's fine. It just wasn't good. Most of the songs were kind of forgettable. The one original one that I thought was fantastic it's called Super Friend. And they're singing about being each other's super friends. And I thought that was a really, really enjoyable moment of television.
Or like, sing about Superman and
it was just really enjoyable. And it seemed like those characters, being the more lighthearted, hopeful characters that they are, kind of got to be who they're supposed to be. But it was just within the context of some made up kind of dream thing, possibly. The Music Meister wasn't even a Music Meister either. Can we just talk about that real quick? He wasn't the Music Meister. Not only did they not call him that, but at the very beginning, they're in this alternate reality, like in their brains thing that they have to make it through. Mm-hmm. And he says, it could have been anything, but because you both like musicals, it's a musical. So therefore, he wouldn't be the Music Meister if it was like a space opera or a war movie. Like, so that part was dumb to me. I'm like, why'd you make it the Music Meister? Then like just own it that he's all about singing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because how about
terrible.
this? Because and this is the reason why I wanted to give it a chance. Even too, it was going into it pretty optimistic. Was the Batman the Brave and the Bold episode with the Music Meister, Neil Patrick Harris doing the voice of that was one of my all-time favorite episodes of that show.
Yeah,
I thought it was wonderful.
I would have rather had Neil Patrick Harris just come back and do that. So
I thought Darren Criss, I believe, is the guy's name.
It would have made it more of a.
But he didn't. He barely sang. That was the thing too.
Yeah,
or it's like for being touted as a musical.
He made everybody else sing.
There were like 3 or 4 songs over the course of an hour show.
Yeah,
which was, I think, less than a 20-minute episode of Batman Brave and the Bold. Like, it seemed like there was less music and a longer show for this. And so I thought that was a bummer. Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable episode. It seemed like everyone had fun doing it. Mm-hmm. That song, the original song, Super Friend, I think everyone should check it out because I think it's really,
I think
really
they put
fun.
it out on like iTunes or something like that.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then I would say the last problem I had with it was the whole purpose and the lesson that Barry and Kara needed to learn was in response to romantic situations that happened literally on the previous episode of The Flash the week before and the night before this episode on Supergirl. Like, it literally happened the night before, and then they're like resolved it right away. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of my biggest frustrations with the CW shows in general is no one wants to like just let situations kind of play themselves out or consequences play themselves out. Like they did it with Flashpoint this season where it's like, it totally has ramifications, but we're going to like try to reverse it right away in the first episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just seems like things get turned around too quickly and resolved like really quickly.
Yeah, I think that's just part of how the CW works. I think it's like we got to get to, because they want to keep the drama going. So you need to break up 3 or 4 times in a season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and this was definitely one of those episodes like,
yeah.
okay, we're about to hit the final run up to the finale. So we needed a break, you know?
Yeah.
Run.
Hey. So did you check out Supergirl?
The episode?
Yeah.
No, man. They burned
That's
me.
right.
They burned me the first time. I watched that for the 4-part, the supposed air quotes 4-part crossover.
Yeah.
Was the last literally like 10 seconds of the Supergirl episode, and I was
which they
pissed.
played the next episode.
Which they played
that
at the
same
beginning
scene.
of the next night on the Flash episode.
Yeah.
I was so pissed, dude. Because let me tell you, that Supergirl episode was not good.
Yeah. Well,
It was not.
you know what?
Good.
Here's the thing with Supergirl. I've seen a few episodes. I was trying to catch up on the first season, and I actually really like her. Like Melissa Benoist. I
Yes,
think she's
she is
enjoyable.
by far the best
She's
part
like
of that
super
show.
like just a cute, bubbly person.
Which you saw in this episode of the Flash, I feel like really well too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you were just so dang cute.
Yeah, she should just be on the Flash.
Yep.
Just be on the Flash. Here's my thoughts on the episode. I don't want to talk too long about the Flash. It's not that I don't like musicals. I don't. But I can see it. It's not that I don't like these things.
But I don't.
But it's not that I even had anything like against the idea. I knew it was coming because they talked about it. Like, they're both from Glee. It makes so much sense. Like, that's the only reason they did this. So
Yeah,
I wonder
it's fine.
if they do
I'm not like mad about it.
when they bring somebody on. Do they? Because everyone felt like they were singing okay. Like even Cisco, he had like a nice little
Yeah.
little song
Jeremy
voice going on.
Jordan, he was the piano player. Like he's Win from Supergirl. I've actually seen him in a few things, and he is legit like in all kinds of musicals. Like really, really great musician, very great voice. You know what's funny though? Like thinking of all those problems with the CW, not wanting things to play out and always resolving them super quickly. Surprisingly, Arrow is not doing that.
Yeah.
and it's been great.
Arrow has been
This
surprisingly
season
great.
has been good.
So yeah,
I can't
you
believe it.
yeah. I feel like the Prometheus reveal, like you want to talk about.
Spoilers. But
Yes, spoilers. Something that came out like 3 weeks ago, but it kind of I saw it coming. Like, of course, it was kind of like this guy. He's here because he's going to be revealed to be Prometheus, and they did exactly what.
I didn't see it coming, but it's because like there's literally no connection. Like they just decided it was going to be that guy. Like I didn't feel like, oh, I see all these clues that I must have missed. Nope, it's literally you guys decided that was going to be the guy, and you didn't leave any breadcrumbs beforehand.
No, they didn't. But I think
Most
that's
great twists, like that's what you
why-
need. You need to be able to look back on like, oh,
it wasn't
that's what he
super
meant when he did
satisfying,
this.
and that's why I think. Here's the thing: I'm not saying anything bad. I think Arrow's been really great this season, but to me, I was just like, I saw it coming because they haven't dropped any clues.
Totally.
And here's this other guy like we just met. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it felt like purposefully. Like all they did was like, hey, we put in this other character, which in the comics, Adrian Chase is Vigilante,
Yeah.
and Vigilante's there, and so that totally got me. I just kind of assumed he was Vigilante, and then they're like, but he's Prometheus, and I'm like, well, you guys, like, you just did that to. You didn't do anything clever for the twist. You just literally like, I know this is the way in the comics, but we changed it. Like that was the big twist.
Yeah.
That being said, have you watched any of the episodes since the reveal? Like now that everything's out in the open with him?
I think I watched the last one where it had now I'm getting confused because I watched them all in like one.
Well,
was
then
it
you
the prologue
probably
where it had
watched it.
Talia?
Yeah. So then you watched it where now that he like knows that Oliver knows, like he's just awesomely like super villain, which has been actually really, really fun.
Yeah. So right
just
now,
messing with him. So you need to
Oliver-
watch last night's then.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched last night. So Oliver is just kind of like, he's put in a call out for Green Arrow to be hunted down and all that type of stuff. And so putting the task force together. So I'm like, it's kind of Harvey Dent,
For sure.
Forget Batman. So yeah, Arrow's been good. Flash hasn't been terrible either. Some people say it's not as good. It's just, I think you're in that third year of like, oh man, what are we gonna do here? Like, I'm not gonna always, always be a
I feel the same.
speedster. It's, I can't wait for them to bring some of the rogues back and do something really fun with the rogues. That would be cool.
So what'd you rate the episode from the other night?
Oh, the Flash one? It's a go. It wasn't. I'm not going to be a jerk and say it's terrible. It was just, for me, it was probably my least favorite of the season.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was. It just
pretty
didn't,
low.
It didn't. I would say it didn't really push the story forward much for me. You know?
I like having them interact with each other. I think it's always an enjoyable time. So I would say I'd give it a let's go.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. There you go. And there you go.
It's not a gotta go.
Yeah, it's not a gotta go,
No.
but it definitely is.
But it was enjoyable for me.
It wasn't awful, and I will put my musical issues aside and
Musical issues aside.
yeah, just it's whatever it is,
Dude, you have musical issues.
And in Green Arrow, I think Green Arrow was a go as well. It wasn't like a wow, this is amazing. It was just it's been consistently a good show.
All right. I won't say anything
and there
because
we
I watched, I'm caught up.
Mm-hmm.
I watched last night's, and I would give it a let's go, man.
Wow.
Like I think it's an interesting dynamic that they're doing, and I'm curious to see how they get themselves out of it.
Well, I mean,
I will say that.
to have to average out the episodes because once it's all done, we can go.
Yeah.
Season 6 was a let's go. And right now I would probably call it a let's go right now because it has been good. Minus a few bumps or, like
we need to talk about
how terrible Ragman's voice is when he's not Ragman.
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Hey.
No, our favorite character, Felicity Smoke.
Oh gosh.
Did you
Finally.
see the tweets today that there is concept art because in this alternate reality thing on Legends of Tomorrow next week, she is going to have a mask and a costume and be a hero.
Did it say who she's going to be?
Nope.
Oh gosh. She's
The
suck.
I think we can both agree that she's the worst. It made me genuinely
She's going to be called the worst. Her character is
the
worst. The worst is
the
here.
worst.
The worst is here to get you. The worst is yet to come.
There you go.
Hey.
That's like her tagline.
There she is. The
Probably
worst.
sounds just like that too.
Hashtag the worst. She's going to talk. She's going to have a
She's
voice
just gonna
modulator.
cry
and be
about
like,
everything.
Oliver, what is it? Why are you such a jerk? Nah, sorry. I'm done. I'm done with Felicity.
Yeah, we're not fans of her. Sorry, everybody.
Hey, let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning of Felicity. I thought she was an enjoyable character. I liked her. She was quirky. She was fun. And I even saw a little bit of the puppy dog stuff with her. Like, oh, Oliver's handsome. I like him. But
yeah, there was kind of a fun dynamic at first.
But for them to even be together made no sense. I was like, that is the fans controlling the writing room right there. And that was not. I feel like you need to tell your story and not cave into what the fans want because sometimes fans...
they don't know.
They don't know what they're doing, man. Like, but then sometimes fans are right. Like, hey, make Black Canary, make Felicity Felicity. So it's really like you just need to. There's certain things you need to stick to, and then venture out, do some things. It's totally fine to like try different things, but don't completely alienate what the character is. That's all.
Yeah. So I just sent it to Justin.
Oh man, you guys, this doesn't look good. She looks like the Huntress. That's what she looks like. She looks like Huntress.
Her mask looks like glasses.
Oh man!
Like, hey, but she still wears glasses, but she doesn't. Yeah. It's an alternate reality though, so I can let that go.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
It's not going to make me watch Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends is fun. Legends is fun, but Felicity is not a sell. Like, oh man, that's like the one episode.
It is for some people though. It's crazy.
Why? What is it? Tell us if you like Felicity on the CW verse on the DCW.
We're inviting so much.
Yeah, bring it on. Let's
hear.
It. I want to hear why because I just don't get it. I just don't get her. I don't enjoy her when she's on screen. As a person, she's probably a great person. But yeah, man.
Yeah, not my favorite character to add to the Arrow pantheon of characters.
Out of the one character. No. So, all right, moving on from this CW DC TV shows.
Are you ready to talk about some comics?
I'm ready to talk about some comics, some real stuff.
Comics.
Some stuff.
The real world.
That's getting it right. Yeah, it's getting it right on flat pieces of paper. I love the smell of a comic. I put it up to my nose and the ink and adventure.
What did you get this week, my friend? What did you pick up?
I got a lot of stuff. I got Ninja Turtles and Batman for my son. He's reading that. Scooby-Doo Team Up. My son loves Scooby-Doo. I don't know where it came from. I enjoy Scooby-Doo, but I'm not like seeking it out. He is like, Scooby-Doo forever, Dad. So yeah, Scooby-Doo meets John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. So that's cool. He was telling me about it before he went to bed. He's like, Dad. Then like John Jones shape shifted into Shaggy and he punched this bad guy in the face. And he's like to him, it's like the most awesome things to me. I'm like, Zoinks. so I got those. I got Action Comics 676. No, wait, 976. Sorry, I'm 300 off.
Hey.
976. I got Doom Patrol number 5, is it? Number 5. And then I think that was it. I think I only got 4 books. I was gonna get Detective, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get it next week." Because I was like,
nice.
Yeah, I don't know why. I know I'm gonna get it. I don't know why I just didn't get it, but I'm a sucker, dude.
You are,
Yeah.
sucker. I got last week when I was away from everybody. I got Super Sons.
Matt's gonna bring
number
that
2.
up every chance he can. When I wasn't on the show.
I wasn't on the show. I got Super Sons number 2 last week. Picked up the new Iron Fist number 1 yesterday. Doom Patrol number 5. And Black Panther number 12.
Nice.
So that's like the most comics I've gotten in a month.
While.
In a
usually
week.
Matt's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get one thing. I'll get this."
It was like that for a few weeks, man.
Yeah.
They're really sparse thrown out
Super
there.
Sons was fun, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
thought
it
it
a
was
lot. I love the art, and I'm curious to see where the writing's going. I would say that would be my take on it. For me, it's a let's go.
Yeah, I would say it's a let's go for sure. It's good fun, dude. It feels it's in that vein of how Young Justice used to be, just a fun comic. And the Young Justice comic book, not the TV show, 2 different type of deals.
There you go.
Both fun, but like Young Justice comic was like fun, where the show was more like kind of serious.
Yeah, like it has fun moments, but it's definitely takes itself more seriously. And this book just feels like really good. I liked the cliffhanger at the end of it because we had talked about after issue 1, we're like, dude, they're going to be busted. Like at some point, like they're totally going out on their own and breaking the trust of both of their dads.
Yeah.
And so to see them kind of looming over each of the sons at the end of the comic, I'm like, oh dang.
Yeah, but it's
bringing the hammer down, dude.
Bring the hammer down. So yeah, anyway, Super Sons, super fun book,
Yeah,
man.
that's Let's Go.
Yeah, that's a let's go right here from Matt and Justice.
I need to read through all. I'm not used to having these many comic books to read in 1 week, and so I read Iron Fist number 1 yesterday, and it was okay. It felt like it did not feel like I've been reading. For those who've been following along, I've been reading Power Man and Iron Fist, the current run David F. Walker's doing, and the characterization of Iron Fist in that is really fun. Like he's kind of headstrong, like let's get going, let's go do stuff, but at the same time he's really optimistic and just wants to help people too.
Iron Fist you want to hang out with in David F. Walker's book.
Yeah, like he's just really kind of goofy over the top. I mean, if Luke Cage says it goes a little something like this, Danny Rand's going to say, kick it. You know what I mean? Because he knows how to finish that line.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a characterization there that I've gotten used to that was not present at all in this first issue of Iron Fist number 1. But it is also hard, always with the first issue, to give it a fair shake because it's just setting up a story. And so I would say this is setting up a story that seems familiar, where Danny Rand... for some reason can't channel the Iron Fist, and so he's just going around just beating the crap out of anybody.
It's
he can
only in
find.
my feet.
Right.
It's not in my fists.
And then someone finds him at the end and be like, "Well, if you come to this island, like we'll help you, and you need to fight in this tournament." And then that's it.
Hey.
Like, that's the issue.
Do you think that a couple things? Because I think characters can have different levels of like
there are different
characterization, and you can be like, you know what,
interpretations,
he's
for
still
sure.
fun, but maybe right now he's going through some type of a funk. You know,
It feels like a
everyone's got
really
funk.
sharp shift, though, for me.
Well, my next thing was like, are they trying to align it with the show? Because the show,
Oh, for sure.
This
It
guy
felt
on the
like-
show is not fun loving yet. He is kind
No.
of like, I don't want to hang out with the guy on the show.
He's like kind of frowning all the time, but it
Yeah.
feels like the Netflix way.
Yeah, it's like
No one's allowed to
why
be
is Justin
happy.
Timberlake so sad?
Oh, it's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May by the time we talk about that on the show.
Hey.
Oh. So
Yeah, but I would say like similarly like to Iron Fist the show, I don't think it's spoiling anything, but it's become a thing in comic book movies. You had it in Spider-Man 2 as well, where it's like this basically like superhero erectile dysfunction going on where like things aren't working. And you have to go through this whole story arc where their powers aren't working and they have to figure out if they're really a hero
like Spider-Man
without them. Yeah, it's exactly Spider-Man 2. You have a little bit of that in the show, and then that's what this first issue of Iron Fist felt like. Right away, like I was, I wouldn't even say I was turned off because I know, like we said, there's room for different interpretations of characters, but everything feels so fun and like kinetic and just like it moves really well. And Power Man and Iron Fist with Sanford Green doing the art there.
Yeah,
this felt like. More of like a David Finch, like just a lot more
real dark,
a lot more ink, a lot more gritty, like, and just from the get-go before any character stuff happens, like you just have this dynamic that like, whoa, this feels completely different, and it really feels like you're trying to line up with that gritty Netflix universe. Which, I mean, that's fine. It's their prerogative, I guess, to do that if they want to. I'll give it maybe another issue or two to see if it gets any more enjoyable for me.
Yeah. Just looking at it over your shoulder, I was just like, I don't know if I want to read this.
Yeah.
Power Man and Iron Fist, I want to read those. I want to borrow those, but because I would borrow all of Matt's, but it just.
So it makes me, I'm not going to lie.
Is what it is.
It makes me.
It's fiddle faddle.
Padwag, Nicky Whack.
Give it
Knick Knack Paddywhack, rather.
There
Dude, it's been a while. I haven't been a kid in a while. In reading that and with how that felt, it kind of made me a little skeptical of the upcoming Defenders comic book. If we're going to be real.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's all going to be like just this dour, like everybody's sad kind of thing, because that doesn't sound fun to read.
That's what it feels like. That's what it even feels like the setup for the Luke Cage book they're talking about. A little more serious, a little more streets, more in line with the show is what they said.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that one, David F. Walker is writing it, so I'm at least curious there because I think, like, I trust his writing to an extent, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully he's able to balance, like, the, you know, this, I guess, without saying seriousness, the real life stuff they're trying to hit, but still have the fun part of it.
Yeah. I think outside of a few out there examples, I really feel like, in my experience at least, and hit me up if you have more experience than I do, which is probably everybody with these characters, Power Man and Iron Fist just seem to work really well together, better than they do on their own. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like either of them has really carried a story or a run on their own super well. I think Matt Fraction had a really great Immortal Iron Fist, right?
Mm-hmm.
A few years back, where it was the Tournament of the Living Weapons, which was, I thought that was rad. But then as soon as that story arc was done, it was like, oh yeah, this is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can talk more about Iron Fist next week.
Yeah, some more Iron Fist.
Did you read your books that you got yesterday?
Yeah, I didn't read Doom Patrol yet, but Superman.
So I'll say Iron Fist #1 is just a go.
Oh, it's just a go.
I'm not going to say don't go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like bad, but it just hasn't.
And it's fair to give it a few issues to pick up. You know, it just.
Yep.
It's hard when those $3.99 ones though.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be fair to a book and give them a chance to tell the story they want to tell.
Yeah.
But it's also a responsibility on them to make you want to come back after that first issue too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little both. So that's a go for me.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No worries, dude. That's just life. We interrupt. We travel. So
I just miss talking to you. You know, with being gone so long.
with Matt being gone last week. Yeah. Thanks again to Ryan Haas for jumping in there. And
Ryan, you did a great job, man. It was good listening to the show.
Wasn't a fill-in. He was a guest star. That's what we said. He was a guest star.
Indeed.
But he's not the real. He's not you, buddy. I can't stare in his eyes and talk about men in spandex.
Well,
it's not the same way.
Probably
it doesn't feel the same.
Probably could.
Probably could. So yeah, got Action 976. Woo, getting up there. And I don't buy Action. I usually just buy Superman, but it was good
because it's part of the current Superman Reborn.
Yeah, it was the whole team because it was Doug Mahnke on art, who I love.
Oh yeah,
I love Doug Mahnke, and I feel like this issue actually I liked his art better. I think it was the inkers. I think
he goes back to like Green Lantern days for you, right?
Yeah. Even before, I used to love. He used to do Justice League when I believe Mark Waid was writing it. it could have either been when Mark Waid was writing Justice League. It was off of the old Morrison run, but that's when I think I first got into Doug Mahnke. He was doing a miniseries called Major Bummer, which was actually really cool. If you check it out, old, probably late 90s or something. Anyways, I just like his art. Yeah, and he did Green Lantern, so I've kind of followed him wherever he went. But he is part of that crew with Tomasi and what's his name? The other guy who's working, Patrick Gleason. So I just like their art. They don't even look the same, their styles, but they just, I don't know. I just enjoy when they work together, and they've been doing the Superman books, and so it's been really nice to see him working. And when he has Christian Alamy inking him, that's my favorite. So anyways, getting into the book, at first, the second part of the story, I was actually kind of disappointed. I don't want to spoil too much for you.
I need to read this.
Read it, but it actually, what it's basically doing is, like, we had, Superman Rebirth, and what this was called Superman Reborn. And what it is doing is really establishing, like, kind of the status quo of who Superman is. And so kind of taking everything that's been put out, like pre-New 52 and Rebirth, and bringing it all together and kind of like, this is Superman, this is his family, this is what his life has been, and it's actually really good. Like, last issue was really good. So I'm going to give Action 976 a gotta go. Like, especially if you're a Superman fan, you need to be picking this up. This has been the best. I keep saying it every time we talk about it. This has been the best Superman I've read probably in years. Like, I'm excited to pick up Superman, where I used to buy it begrudgingly. Like, I like Superman, I think. Like, New 52, I wasn't excited about any of those. Especially the Superman title was trash. The Morrison stuff was okay in Action. But it just didn't feel like it connected to anything. Anyways, New 52, out the door, dude. This was kind of the nail in the coffin for New 52 Superman. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, good stuff, dude. Gotta go.
Great.
Action 976. And so,
I think it'll probably be good. Maybe we'll make sure once these arcs finish up, Superman Reborn and I Am Bane. Batman, we can talk about those in a couple weeks, maybe on the show, and just kind of take extended time to talk about those.
Because I Am Bane ain't finishing up next week.
Every other week.
Oh, it's a 2-week break on this one.
2-week break before the last installment of this, which is a little
before I Am Button
sad.
Starts. So
I Am Button.
What is the real title of that movie? It's just called The Button, right?
The Button.
The Button.
And it's a comic book, not a movie.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. What if it
Maybe
was?
it's like a movie in your mind.
It is a movie. I move the pictures.
We can
in
just
my mind.
jump into Justin's brain while he's reading a comic book.
It moves. I see movement, dude. I see how it works. Yeah. Looking forward to I Am Bane. Oh, I want to talk about it really bad too, because there's so much.
Yeah, because that's one I'm caught up on too, and I am digging that storyline. So I think it's good.
When you read Bane, do you hear Tom Hardy or do you hear
what? Hear like Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo from Young Justice.
From Young Justice.
What do you hear?
Oh, dude. I would say Tom Hardy. 100%. That's the.
That's the Bane voice.
Thank you, Christopher Nolan. That's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I love the Bane voice. So maybe what we'll do. I am Bane. Ah, hello. He's like a parrot Bane. Hello, I'm Bane. We should do a dramatic reading of I Am Bane on the show.
Oh man!
I don't know if we'll get in trouble. We'll just do it and see if we get a cease and desist. We'll just pull it down. But we should do a dramatic reading of I Am Bane, but just between me and Matt.
Just.
Like, all right, you're going to be, I don't know. Let's do it. We'll do it. It'll be fun.
That would be really fun.
Sound effects. We'll get some Foley in there. It'll be good.
Any other comic-related stuff for you this week?
No, I think we kind of covered most of it that was of note. And then
we still need to read Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
I mean, because I got Doom Patrol number 5 as
too.
Well. And I've been really liking that. It's just hard when a comic book gets behind.
Yeah,
this bad, you kind of start.
Yeah, it was
to
like
lose
a month
your
and a
spot.
half. Was it 2 months almost?
Yeah, issue 4 was a month or 2 behind, and then this was another like month and a half behind.
Yeah.
Like it was.
The wallet doesn't mind it so much.
Yeah,
but,
creates capacity there, but when it's something you really enjoy, like it's a bummer to.
Yeah, that's hard.
Not have that consistency.
I want to get that. I want that to come out. So, not looking forward. I shouldn't build up so much. So tonight I'm going to watch Powerless.
Okay, because that's back.
It's back tonight, I believe, and it got better. So this is your Powerless report.
It got better.
It's right now. It's a go. It's not a let's go yet, but we'll see where it's at. Episode 1 was a go, and then it slipped to the next week to a don't go. I almost didn't watch episode 3, and then I did. I was like, wow, this was fun.
Sinking Day.
Yeah, Sinking Day, dude. I'm going to celebrate Sinking Day every year. It's going to be good. Good stuff. So that about wraps us up, huh?
Yeah, and then we'll finish Iron Fist up this week, so we can
Fist.
talk about that. I think we'll have some good stuff to talk about the next couple weeks.
Yeah. So if you want to say some good stuff, how can they do that, Matt? What should they do?
They can find us on Twitter at Let's Go Comic Show.
Yeah.
So you can hit us up there on Twitter, or you can leave a review. Please leave a review and 5 stars for us on iTunes Store. Help us get up there in those ratings to get more people part of this conversation. And we'd love to get more people on board with that.
Yeah, 5 stars and good words are always, it's nice to read, and then it does help out so much. So yeah, and like Matt said, Let's Go Comic Show all over the place. And then you can visit the website at letsgocast.com, where we have other things going on. We have the other Let's Go show, and we actually have people writing, recipes, and starting to put blogs on there from other people. So if you'd like to be a contributor, just hit us up at letsgocast@gmail.com, and we'll get you writing stories if you would like to. So we're looking for some submissions to be a part of the ever-expanding Let's Go universe. So,
yeah. What if they want to pick a personal fight with you about Batman's silver logo?
Oh, man, if you want to pick a personal fight with me about Batman's silver logo and the new Justice League Batman poster, you can hit me up at J_Rocca on Twitter. Matt, what if they are like, hey, I'm really fond of this new Flash outfit? How and they want to agree with you?
They can let me know at Matt Ritchie, MatTrichey on Twitter.
Well, that's nice.
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice. All right, well, thanks for downloading the show. Please share this with your friends. Be part of the street team. We don't have one, but be on our street team. Be online, sharing the show, retweet it, put it on Facebook, share it with your friends. So, because a couple of you have done that, and it's been kind of nice. Makes a man feel good inside. Makes me have a little more stride in my step when I'm walking down the street with my family.
Yeah, let us know what you think of what we talked about. If there's any stuff that we're missing out that we should be checking out that we're not, let us know.
Yeah.
All right. Good to hear.
My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.